Hi, I just thought share some stuff on disease. I'm no particular expert on it, but as you can see here, we got a really dewy outfield. This has been like it for days, just that dew sitting on there, and it's probably 10 degrees. So it's nice and warm out there, really, for this time of year. There's no wind, so the leaf sits wet. So I just thought I'd run through a few of the sort of things that we do. Just a few basic things here. So we got some disease in here. I just thought I'd let you see that a bit closer. I believe that's fusarium. So I'm not particularly great on it. We don't really get much fusarium, but this year's a lot because of the extended growing season where it's been so warm. You got some red thread there. It's probably just past it, and you just see it's kind of, we've got some bit of rot going on there in the plant. So what do we try and do? We're all struggling at the moment. So the red thread down there is just a lack of nitrogen. So if you feed with a nitrogen-based fertiliser, this time of year you should be putting on something with analysis about 5 to 8% nitrogen in it. You don't want to put too much on, because if you get too much sort of green lush grass, that's when disease come into it. It's just getting it somewhere in the middle, really. You want a bit of green, but you don't want it lush and growing, but you shouldn't really get that too much with the right fertiliser at this time of year. Liquids are quite a good idea, especially when the plant like this is slowed down. We went to cut this today and it's just slowed down a bit too much to cut. There is a granular on this, which I put about a week ago, but things are a bit slow at taking in at the moment. We've got quite a few sort of patches of disease in here at the moment. I don't know if there's a take-all patch, or I'm not quite sure what it is, but I think the important thing is what we're going to do about just strengthening up this square, because the square's a bit weak at the moment. It's a bit off colour. So I put a fertiliser on last week. I think it's going to struggle probably to kick in. So the options are really we're going to look to put iron sulphur on this next week, which is quite a raw product. It'll be used as a like a hardener, turf hardener, so it'll toughen up the leaf. You get iron sulphur in lawn sand as well, which is, I'm not a big fan of lawn sand, but I think in this case it would work well. People are often concerned of using lawn sand on cricket squares. But I was always told, there's 30%, a third or whatever in your loam, there's sand in that. I've also heard a case of county grounds actually top dressing just with sand to help spinners and things like that. So as long as everything's in balance, but I say 1 or 2 lawn sand applications every year or every other year, whatever, is probably not going to change things too much. Your pH is one thing that iron sulphur or lawn sand can affect. But I say 1 or 2 applications is not really going to do too much, and you should be aware of your pH. So if in doubt, you just need to talk to the people that supply you and get proper advice. Obviously mine's just from one groundsman to another kind of thing. And then there's always the option of fungicides on this. I prefer iron sulphur, just because it would just, I'm going off for Christmas, so pop in next week, just get this sprayed. It will just really harden up everything, the plants around it, the disease. It will dry the disease out, tissue a bit, and it will just stop the spread. There's a bit of scarring where old disease has died off. That will fill in the spring, or get done when we overseed. It's not major stuff. It's not major stuff to worry about. Thought I'd just do a little bit on prevention, because obviously we've struggled here for prevention. Things have got a bit past us. 2 weeks ago this looked great. Probably the time then, or maybe I should have put my fungicide on, but then it was going cold. So it's not easy. And I'm here, semi full time. So so prevention really is keeping your height of cut around 18, 20, 22 mils, something around that. Gets a bit of airflow, bit airflow around the base of the plant, helps keeps disease away. brushing, even if it's once or twice a week, that you'll be surprised, that will really help as well. Just keep the plant upright, the leaf upright, helps the dew run off the leaf. It's all about moisture management really, disease prevention. And so I've gone into nutrition a little bit, that low nitrogen, yeah, brushing. So that's kind of, yeah, I've kind of gone into most of it. I'm sure there's something I've always missed. Aeration's not a bad thing. We did aerate this about 3 weeks ago. That helps keep the surface a bit drier as well. But on a heavy clay square, clay loam, on a very heavy subsoil, which it is around here, that will help. But it's not going to keep you well drained if you've got that much of a wet surface. Anyway, it's just some thoughts. So please just, yeah, any thoughts or any comments, just leave them in the comments box below. Thanks for watching.